This is Jennifer Sullivan from Fast Forward College Coaching, and today's video is about the importance of self-advocacy in college. Self-advocacy is all about you, students. It means that you are the primary communicator in college and that you need to take the lead on asking for things and seeking out support that you need. So, a few things that I'd like to highlight about self advocacy. So, as I just mentioned, students are going to be the only communicator of their needs with the college or university that they're attending. This means that the college is going to be emailing students at their email address given to them by the college for all issues and topics, anything related to academics, related to roommate or move in and move out dates, anything related to tuition bills or insurance, any payments that need to be made. All of this information is going to be communicated and sent directly to you students. Now, in a second, I'm going to talk about an exception to this. So if you want someone else to be able to communicate with or to email your college, there is something that you can do, and we'll talk about that in a second. Now, if you're watching this video before you go to college, this is a great time to start working on those self-advocacy skills. So any opportunity where you can speak up for yourself, where you can communicate and not have a parent, guardian, or teacher communicate for you, this is when you need to step up and start practicing those skills. So for example, if you have a medical appointment or a physical, right, a yearly physical that needs to be scheduled, why don't you make that phone call? If you were going out to a restaurant with your friends or with your family, it's important that you students know how to pay with a debit card, that you know how much money to leave for a tip. And this can be really important because sometimes students will go off to college and won't have this financial knowledge. This is an independent living skill, right? Budgeting, knowing how much to spend if you're at a restaurant, knowing how much to spend if you're ordering Uber Eats or DoorDash, and you need to leave a tip for that delivery driver, right? Sometimes students don't know and will accidentally leave $10, $20, $30 more than is required because they haven't practiced this skill. Other opportunities are, ordering food for yourself, speaking up if something isn't right, if you're supposed to get something in a store and you didn't, if you were charged a higher price for something than you should have. These are all little situations where you can practice your self-advocacy skills. And parents, this is something that you want your students to practice before they get to college. So regardless of their age, if they're a young teenager, an older teenager, students, you want to start practicing self-advocacy skills, making appointments for yourself, speaking up in preparation for going to college. Now, here are a few suggestions of ways that you can communicate with professors when you get to college. There is really no bad way or no wrong way to communicate. If you feel more comfortable communicating via email, that's great. If you feel comfortable communicating in person and talking to a professor after class or during their office hours, that's great too. And I gave a couple suggestions here on the slide. So first of all, you want to start a relationship with your professors at the beginning of the semester, after the first class or maybe after the first week, to go up to your professor and say, some of these suggestions here in the slide. Say, hi, professor, my name is Jen. I'm really looking forward to being in your class. I'd like to learn as much as I can. Do you have any tips for me to be successful in your class? Or you could say something like, I really am looking forward to the class. I want to start off on a good foot. Would it be okay if I came to visit you before our first assignment is due, just to make sure that I'm on the right track? Another opportunity that you can speak to professors would be after you receive a grade back on an assignment. So you could take a look at the assignment and then email or talk to a professor and say, Professor, I've looked at my work. Could I come to your office and can we review what I did wrong on the assignment so that I can understand and do differently next time? Right? Or maybe after midterm grades come out, Students, you can approach a professor and say, can I talk about my grade in your class? I would really like to do well. Can you give me some suggestions for how I can improve or raise my grade? Right. So these are things that you are going to need to be doing, students. You, not your parent, not another teacher. You are going to need to have these conversations with professors. And lastly, this is the exception that I was talking about. So we already know that you are going to be the only communicator with your college, unless you sign the FERPA form. Now, FERPA stands for Family, Educational Rights, and Privacy Act. Now, this form may not be given to you by your college, meaning colleges may not proactively say, all right, does anyone want to sign this FERPA form? It might be something that you need to ask for. So the person that I would recommend starting with first is your academic advisor. So if you email or go to the academic advisor's office and say, I would like a FERPA form and I would like to sign it, they should email or give this to you, right away. And the FERPA form basically says, it says, I, the student, give permission for the college to communicate with these people that I have listed below. And then you students have the choice of putting a parent or a guardian's name down, someone else maybe that you would like the college to be able to communicate with. So this means that the college could then send or communicate about tuition bills. Your parent could communicate with the disability support office, for example, or your parent or guardian could communicate with your academic advisor if you have a question about adding or dropping a class, something like that. So this is the only exception. If you would like someone else to be able to communicate with your college, then you definitely want to ask for and you want to fill out the FERPA form. All right, thank you for watching. Feel free to check out our other videos about college readiness and college success tips, or visit our website at www.fastforwardcollegecoaching.com.